Operator, will you please pass me to the Mr. JV Soccer Show? All right, here we go. I am human and I made a mistake. Well, here we are. We are in our second podcast show, and we are without Brian Barajas because he had to go take his own trip to Las Vegas for some personal issues. What we have here,
Just Francisco today.
Piñeda. He doesn't like saying his last name. I don't understand why they don't like saying it. You need to identify who we are. That's Frankie. And I'm George Belon. All right. So here we are going to kick off with Week 8 in Major League Soccer. What you think about this week, Frankie?
A few good games, particularly the New York Red Bulls finally coming through big.
Yeah.
It did happen against a poor performing team at the moment, but
Yeah.
big result.
Yeah. Finally, New York gets a big victory. But again, like you just said, against New England, which honestly, it's not that big of a statement because on Wednesday they lost to Sporting Kansas City
Yeah, exactly.
in New York.
Exactly.
So it's like, are you
It,
for
it,
real or are you fake?
it's yeah, exactly. It's just at this point, it's just to get the points and the goal differential. So
Yeah.
uh, eventually it'll help them, but they shouldn't look too much into it or anybody speculate.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was a good result, but I think a more convincing result was probably FC Dallas beating Vancouver 2-0, and
Oh yeah, yeah.
now they got an 8-point lead on the Galaxy in second place, which is pretty ridiculous. I
Yeah,
I did not
exactly.
expect FC Dallas to be that up ahead. Speaking of the Galaxy, Donovan's back. Seems. Let's see if he gets 2 games in a row. But what do you think about the Galaxy's game?
I think it was good. They had good movement. Obviously, in that goal, you know, what everybody expected, Keane to Donovan. So overall, I think it was a good performance,
Yeah.
especially against a pretty decent competition right there too. So hopefully this just gets the ball rolling for Donovan. It's obvious that he's starting to get into some sort of shape now. So uh, it could only come, it couldn't have come any sooner, especially
Seriously.
since they need to make ground against
Yeah, Dallas.
yeah. I mean, although at least in the standings now they're above Chivas USA now,
Yes,
so
I know. That's good
they'll
news.
definitely they'll definitely take being over their rivals.
Exactly. Because no one wants to be below Chivas USA. But I mean, another team that's rising up that was surprising was Portland. Portland tied San Jose in San Jose, and San Jose had to barely score a late goal in the 92nd minute. I mean,
Well, that's once again Portland being incapable of
yeah,
just kind of just finishing it, which is
yeah.
last week we saw them take command of the
Mhm.
game and really finish it, but it seems like they're gonna be reverting back to that sort of thing where they just let it slip by their hands.
Yeah, I would agree with you, but the thing is, I do think that it's on the road and it's in San Jose, so I think a result in San Jose like that is a pretty decent result compared to last year. They probably would have lost. I think this team's improving, but they're taking baby steps. I think
Yeah.
they're on the way though. They're at least in fifth place. If the playoffs start today, they'd be playing Chivas USA for a wild card, so they'd be in the playoffs. At least that's way better than last year and the year before that. Last year was horrible for them. It was just a disaster. I mean,
Yeah, so I mean you're seeing improvement.
yes, you're
At
seeing
least.
improvement. You're seeing vast improvement. Not like Toronto where you're not seeing enough improvement.
Oh yeah,
There's just
another bad result for
yeah,
Toronto
another
too.
late second goal that you give up, and you're just like at home again.
Yeah.
It's just like no, you should win that game. But an East Coast team that's actually really good, and I've been a big fan of this forward. And Brian was bashing him last weekend.
What?
Last week was Jack McInerney, the forward from Philadelphia Union,
Oh
who
yeah.
scored 2 goals against DC United on the
They
road.
they needed every bit of that.
Yeah, I mean
So
that kid's good, man. That kid's good, and they got 3-2, and I think as long as he keeps scoring, they'll keep winning.
yeah, I agree. I feel like I had mentioned to you earlier before the recording that I believe Philly's one of those teams that's gonna be sticking around the whole season, and I'm not gonna be shocked if they're taking a commanding presence in the top of the Eastern table.
Do you think they'll win the East?
At this pace, I would be confident in saying that they would win the East. Their form is just they're being one of the more consistent teams. I feel even from just seeing little plays here and there that they you know
Mhm.
they run through these games. I do feel that they're one of the more
So you
consistent
do you
groups.
think they could top Sporting Kansas City?
Yes, I do think so.
Why? That's interesting. Why?
Because Sporting Kansas City has showed at times how they seem to lose a little bit of focus.
Mhm. I can see that.
You know,
They're not the same team from last year.
exactly,
There's a few
exactly.
things. I mean, they've lost a couple players that they kind of can't replace. But I mean, I think their whole playoff lives for Philly revolve around Jack McInerney. If he can keep scoring, because he's the leading goal scorer of not only the team but the league at the moment.
Oh, really?
He's 20 years old and he has 6 goals and he's the leading goal scorer of the league.
Oh, wow.
So if he can keep scoring, they'll keep winning. If he gets on a cold streak, they're not going to win. I mean, it's just, if you take away his 6 goals, they only have I think like 3 goals.
Mm.
So he's a vital piece.
Well, let's hope that he continues to make, opportunities for himself, and hopefully that results in more
Okay.
opportunities
Now,
for the rest of them.
here's another question. I've been thinking about this one, and I've heard different opinions from the professionals in MLS to people like just I know. Do you think if that kid, he's never been called to the U.S. national team yet, like he hasn't. He's gone through the ranks of the U17s and U20s. But if you think that if he keeps playing as good as he does, do you think he should be called to the U.S. national team either for a World Cup qualification or the Gold Cup?
I think at his pace, I wouldn't necessarily put him in qualifications yet,
Mm.
but I would be very confident putting him to the Gold Cup
Mm.
tournament. It gives them, I mean, it's less pressure in a sense, so it just gives them the opportunity to kind of gauge the field and see how the international level is.
Mm.
And I do think that he would show up
Yeah, I think he
as
would too. I think he would. That's actually something I agree with. I think he should go to the Gold Cup, not World Cup qualification yet.
exactly
I think
exactly.
if he does good in the Gold Cup, then
Then
bring him to the next
you
ones.
promote him to
Yeah.
that the high pressure games. But I mean, it all has to do also with form of other players on the squad right now
It's
too.
just
So
at the moment, no forwards can score for the U.S. team. I don't know why they just can't. I mean, Jose Altidore can't do it, but he can score like 100 goals for the team in Holland.
yeah, yeah,
I don't get what's going on there. If it's not for like our midfielders, the U.S. would have no goals.
yeah. But I mean, just the simple fact that Altidore is obviously scoring
Yeah, he's
for
on
him,
fire.
he's gonna get the nod over somebody like Jack. So
Yeah, I
you
mean
know,
that is true because he's scoring in a harder league.
that's what the consensus will be.
Yeah.
So and with a trainer kind of like Klinsman and his his staff will definitely take that into consideration.
Do you think that'd be an interesting starting lineup having Altidore and McInerney up front?
Yeah, I think so. Although I do feel Altidore benefits a lot more with somebody with a little more pace,
Yeah,
but
I would agree with that.
that would be it'd be more of a threat for sure
Mm.
for the opposition.
Yeah, that's why him and Charlie Davis were so good because Charlie Davis
Exactly,
was so fast and he
exactly.
he did all the little work and Altidore was just there to tip it in. But I mean that's why I think Terrence Boyd should be starting more, but they they don't start him. I don't know why. He's playing good in Austria, but damn, don't start him. But anyways, that's
But
a
yeah, but I think so. I think they should try him in the Gold Cup.
yeah, I think so too.
Give him the opportunity. Obviously, he's playing well for his club, and hopefully that continues to give him confidence,
Yeah,
and it'll keep the union
yeah.
in it. So
Now going back to the MLS, and I know you're gonna kind of be like, wait, you're jumping things, but since we're already talking about the MLS, as I told you before we started recording, I read that Copa Libertadores Conmebol as they want to bring an MLS teams into Copa Libertadores by 2015.
yes, in Portuguese we would.
Yes, yeah, Portuguese. Yes, yes. I thought it was Spanish. Sorry, I thought it was Spanish. I thought it was Spanish. But do you think Major League Soccer teams are ready for this?
No,
Why?
but I do feel that 2 more years could make a slight bit of a difference, given that more international talent might be attracted to this side, knowing that they'll be in a big tournament like
Like
that,
Copa
like
Libertadores.
Libertadores. So it gives them more of a chance to say, okay, I'm not just gonna be playing in MLS. I'm gonna be playing in the premier tournament of the West, pretty much.
Besides
So,
CONCACAF Champions League, yeah.
yeah, because besides CONCACAF Champions League, so that in itself will attract more players here.
Hmm.
Just that fact. So, um, hopefully enough things happen between then and now, and I do think that they would, pose a threat to contending at least in the group stages. At this point, I don't think they would do that well right now, even against a team like from Bolivia or something. Even
Hmm.
then, so. But I do think that now that they know this, it
They're gonna already start looking for
yeah, yeah,
players. They're gonna start scouting and throwing that into.
exactly,
You want to come to us? You can play for Copa Libertadores as well.
exactly,
You know.
exactly.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I do think if they start today, there are only a handful of teams that could pose some
Yeah,
threats.
I
But
mean
at
the
home,
obvious ones.
but at home,
Yeah,
not over there. I think in Argentina or in Brazil, it'd just be it wouldn't end well. It honestly wouldn't. I don't think so. I
it's
mean,
it's it's gonna be tough regardless, cause what I just thought of right now is the traveling.
yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
traveling is gonna be it could
That's
be
gonna be
a
really
little bit of a
gruesome.
hurdle,
Yeah,
especially let's say a Toronto team or a Montreal
yeah,
team
yeah.
it
Like
qualifies.
Montreal, exactly.
They're really gonna have to take a few a few stops along the way
Yeah,
before they get to a
seriously.
match.
Like let's say they have to go all the way down to Argentina.
Yeah.
That's yikes. That's bad. Mexican
That-
teams have it rough already. Now if you go more up the border,
yeah.
like it's just gonna be bad. Even like if a team from like New York or from like Portland have
Oh
to go
man.
down, it's
Yeah.
just gonna it's gonna be
They
ridiculous.
might have to schedule it so that they have like
Yeah,
a CONCACAF Champions League game and like in the Caribbean,
I know, right?
and then take the trip down to Libertadores or
Exactly.
something.
You're like,
So
okay, we're gonna do this now and separate all that, because it's just really ridiculous. I mean, the Mexican teams they're already pretty thin stretched. Like Tijuana is not gonna make the playoffs in Liga MX. They're already for sure they're not
yeah,
gonna make
yeah,
it, but they're in the second round of Copa Libertadores,
yeah,
which is like that's probably what's gonna happen here. They're gonna probably do
exactly.
really good in the tournaments, and then they're gonna suck domestically.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind
Yeah,
of like how we mentioned though, it was like that lack of depth.
yeah.
So
It's gonna be really tested.
for it really will be tested at that point.
And I think honestly, right now I don't think they're ready, but I don't think you're ever ready for a tournament like this. I don't think you
No,
are. I think you
no.
just either go in all the way or you're not.
You just have to experience
Yeah.
it, and then from then I think MLS
I don't.
as a whole can make the adjustments
Yeah.
needed for as far as depth, as far as talent, as far as scheduling,
Hmm.
all that.
I think also the first few years are going to be brutal. They're
Oh
not.
yeah.
They're not
Oh
gonna. They're not gonna be nice. We're gonna probably get spanked a few times, but they need to go through it and endure with it because that's the only way they're gonna grow. I think that's their next. If they can go to that tournament and start, yes, probably lose the first couple of times, but then they grow within. Not only is like the players coming in gonna be better, but the people coming through the academies are gonna be better. Like you're gonna see
yeah.
better young players because they're put into much harder places.
Yeah, yeah.
Like could you imagine if Boca Junior comes to Home Depot Center? Like
Oh wow.
that's gonna be
That
fun.
that's gonna be fun.
Like Corinthians.
Corinthians or
Exactly.
Santos. Oh, I can't wait to be honest.
Yeah,
Now that you mention
exactly,
it, because
right?
even when we were talking about Tijuana being in it, I was just disappointed at the fact that it's in my mind that Corinthians was gonna be down here in Tijuana at some point.
Yeah,
So and I completely missed it. So that's gonna give us more opportunities to see teams
exactly.
that we really like from
Exactly.
South America. So
Exactly, and
wow, I completely
yeah, it's just
completely went through my over my head.
exactly, and that's exciting, and of course that's gonna help the revenue for both MLS and CONMEBOL because
Exactly.
everyone's gonna want to see it. I
Yeah.
mean, but the great thing is it's gonna improve the level here. It's gonna improve it, and I think it's gonna create more fans.
It will because then there's no more excuses. There's no more excuses of MLS is this, MLS is that.
Yeah, because now they're
It's
gonna be
gonna be
playing
like
against the best of the best in the
exactly,
Western Conference.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, uh, it'll only help the U.S. Soccer
You
as a
know, you know
whole.
what it's gonna be like. CONCACAF Champions League is going to be the Europa League, and Copa
Exactly.
Libertadores is
Yeah,
going to be the
yeah,
Champions
yeah,
League. That's how
exactly.
it's going to be. That's exactly what it's going to be.
That's pretty awesome, though. Those
Yeah.
two tournaments to try to go for.
No, I was talking to Brian on the phone earlier about this. I told him how how they're probably gonna give the MLS like maybe two teams at the most in the beginning, like probably
Mhm.
just two.
Mhm.
Um, I told him I think the two teams to make it just to make sure that you don't get like a bad team because in the MLS sometimes you get that team that sneaks all the way up to the final.
Right. Just with
Yeah,
decent results,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
exactly, and that's the last thing you want. You don't want that team going to the CONCACAF, I mean to the Copa Libertadores. You don't want that because that's not gonna end well.
It won't be a
Yeah,
good impression.
like I'm sorry, like if Houston made the finals last year, if Houston went to Copa Libertadores, if they got handled by Santos, who weren't even playing that good,
Yeah.
they go to they go they, it's just, they go to Sao Paulo and they're
Oh
gonna
my
get
goodness.
destroyed.
Yeah.
They go to Millonarios in Colombia, they're gonna get killed.
Yeah.
So what I told him is I think it should be the team who won um the best record in the regular season, so the team who finished first, and the team who wins the MLS Cup. So it can't be the two teams that make the MLS Cup. It has to be one team that won the regular season
Mhm.
and the other team that won the MLS Cup.
What would you do in the situations where it's the same team? Would you just do
Then I
runner
would
up
give
of
it.
the
Then
season?
I would give it to, let's say, if the other team who they're facing in the MLS Cup was the second best team in the league, then they
Uh huh.
go. But if
Okay.
they're not it, then I'd give it to the second best team in the
Okay.
league,
Okay.
because just to make sure that the best teams go.
Yeah.
You don't want you don't want the team that does not belong there going, because then it's just gonna make the entire league look bad. Instead of they might be like, you know what, you guys build up a few more years, maybe 40 more years, then come back. Like, I don't want that to happen because CONMEBOL reached out to MLS. It wasn't
Yeah.
like MLS reached out to them. CONMEBOL reached out to the MLS.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah, because eventually what they want out of it is some financial gain out
yeah,
of
of
it, you
course.
know. So they don't want it to just be a waste and have
Yeah,
them have like a premier team play against like let's just say a very poor Revolution. You
yeah,
know,
like they're playing Revolution or like they're playing, probably who I think is gonna finish in last, like Colorado, or
yeah,
like a bad Toronto team. Like it's just
or the Seattle we saw in
yeah,
CONCACAF Champions
yeah,
League.
like that's just not gonna. That's they're gonna be like, okay, we're getting money, but we'd be getting more money if you had better teams coming in.
Exactly.
And
So
then like that's just no, like they need to bring the best teams because they want to make sure our league doesn't look bad. They don't want to embarrass Major League Soccer
no, no,
in
of
the
course not.
process, because then
Then never get invited
yeah,
again.
exactly, they'll be like, it was a one-time thing and it's
And you
over.
guys messed it up.
Yeah,
So
you guys missed the one opportunity we gave you, so you guys can just kind of watch the games from TV instead of participating. But that, like, what do you think? How do you think the team should go? Like,
well, I never gave it that thought. I probably would have just said that MLS was probably just gonna say, all right, the two teams that reached the championship,
yeah, they
but
probably have their idea already. But if you were Don Gardner, the commissioner, and you gave the last call, what would you do?
I'd probably for sure give it to the top person, the top team in of the league,
Mm.
whoever got the best result league wise, and then it'd probably be sort of like your thought process. However, whoever won the cup, regardless of who it is, no, it'd have to be one two. It'd have to be one two
Exactly,
because you don't want that, that Cinderella of the MLS to,
going there,
yeah.
because I'm sorry, but I don't. Okay, I remember this one final. It was Colorado versus FC Dallas. FC Dallas was a good team, was a better team. Colorado was the bad team that went through the Eastern Conference to qualify, which was really weird. It was like two finals in a row. It was West versus West because the East was just bad. And I remember Colorado won in the final, which FC Dallas should have won because they were the best team throughout the year. If
Uh-huh.
that would have been the case, it would have been Los Angeles Galaxy and Colorado going to the Copa
Mm,
Libertadores. Galaxy might have done okay, but Colorado would have just crashed out.
yeah,
Like they would
yeah,
have just crashed out, and that's
yeah.
like that's bad. Like you don't want that to happen. It's a little unfair because we won the MLS Cup. What is that for? CONCACAF Champions League.
Yeah.
Not this.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
not this. That isn't that. No way it cannot be for that because it's just like if that happens, then might as well bring the Puerto Rico Islanders. You know,
Might
it's
as well
just
bring 'em along.
you know, it's just like no. It just you want to make sure it's the best of the best that go there, not just a team that got hot for one moment of the season.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause-
Another aspect that I just thought about right now that's gonna help the league also is with this different competition of South America.
mm,
There's different brands of football that are played. You have like for instance when we play against Mexican and Central American and even Caribbean teams, there's a certain type of style
yeah.
that comes along. But when you introduce like the South American flair and the style that they have, it's gonna make it's gonna force
Mm,
North American teams to kind of change their strategy,
yeah.
how they approach certain teams,
Yeah.
certain players. So it's only gonna expand the styles that are
Mm.
being played here in North America.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I agree with that. I think all the Latino Americans in the U.S. will very much profit from that
Yeah, yeah.
because they'll be like, you need us for this.
Yeah. This is our
You
expertise.
can't
You
just
know?
be stagnant and just kick the ball up. You need to actually play within the field and try to
Yeah.
build something up. But let's see what happens. I hope it hasn't yet been for sure done. They're still working out MLS, but I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure something's gonna be happening because MLS would like this and so does CONMEBOL.
Yeah, of
So
course.
I'm pretty sure they'll figure out something. But now let's move on to the under 17 CONCACAF Championship. It is over. It's done. Again, Mexico are the champions, but it wasn't in convincing fashion because the final score was 2-1. The
Mhm.
first goal of Mexico was an own goal from Panama. Then Panama tied it, and then Mexico scored the winning goal in the end. So it wasn't really in convincing fashion.
Right.
This Mexican team wasn't as strong as the other Mexican teams that I've seen before. They looked weak, honestly. They didn't look. I think if they would have faced Honduras in the quarterfinals, they might have not made the World Cup.
Really?
Yeah, because they weren't that strong.
Mm.
They just had weak games. They didn't take over teams as they should have. Like they really didn't.
But one thing also, you can't take away any credit from Panama because I was obviously in our conversations wasn't as strong on the home field advantage,
Yeah.
but through all these results, I was proven wrong again and again. So
Oh.
I think you can't take away out of the quality of Panama, even though they did get they got an own goal
Mhm.
on them. So I feel as if they did bother Mexico enough
Yeah, they
to make
did.
it
They
so that
did.
they didn't seem as effective as they had done throughout the
Mhm.
tournament.
Mhm. No, I agree. I agree. But I think Panama's gonna be a good team to watch. I think they're gonna have a good future ahead of them. I think Panama might be on the rise because the men's seniors national team they're first place right now CONCACAF
Oh,
qualifications for World Cup. They're in first place,
so
and they have a big game in June when they face the U.S. in Seattle, and that's gonna be a huge game. Actually, aren't you going to that?
I might be going to that. Yes,
Yes, I know.
take pictures for sure of that, man.
Yes. Yes, report live, man. Report live.
Robert Ford.
Yes, report live and have Carlos help you.
That might actually not be a bad idea.
Yeah,
Have a little bit of recording there.
Exactly, exactly.
But might we not get sued by the MLS
No,
for
I
play
don't
by
think I don't no
for,
don't no
for
don't
play by
don't
play?
don't coverage the game. Just report live like hey we're here and this is the game and just like that's it.
That's a great excuse to talk to Panamanian ladies right there. We need this report. I might just do that.
Exactly right.
I might just do that.
Exactly. Uh, oh man, no, but how about those Canadians though, man? They just don't give up. I mean, they were
No.
losing 1-0. Then no, they were losing 2-0. Then they made 2-1 and then 2-2 at the very ending of the
Yeah,
game, and then
yeah.
they won in the penalties. Like,
Gotta love their resilience.
yeah, man. Like I kind of was finding myself going for the Canucks, man. I was like, go Canada, go Canada. But I think they're gonna be a good team. But
Yeah, let's hope they keep it that way. I
yeah.
mean, you didn't see any real big signs of any sort of monumental collapse.
Yeah, you
or
didn't.
anything,
Even when they
so
were losing, they would come back. They would
yeah.
find a way back. They're a talented team, and I think that's a sign that MLS academies are helping Canadians with their soccer because
Yes.
over 80% of those players were from MLS academies.
Oh
So
wow.
like
So
that was a very that's why this was
good
big for that.
indicator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this was big for this Canadian team because it was the first U17 Canadian team that had so many MLS academy players. So whether you're going the right direction or you need to tear down the plan and start over again
Right.
because
Right.
you failed, but they did good, and I think if they keep developing like this, and they're all gonna get better as the years go along, they might become a decent senior team. Like these young players in U17s and U20 might end up getting
Yeah.
into the
Yeah.
team and be better.
Yeah. Well, if it continues, if the development continues, you could see a good kind of change in
Yeah.
the landscape of CONCACAF in the senior level. You
Yeah,
know,
and I
you
think
could see that.
just having MLS and Liga MX is already showing signs of that. Like teams like Panama are getting better, like Honduras, they're
Yeah.
getting better. Costa
Yeah.
Rica is
Exactly.
getting better. Like these teams are getting better because of that. Because these teams are now playing only, like no disrespect to their home nations and their domestic leagues there, but they're not as strong as when you come to Liga MX or Major League Soccer, where the competitive level is higher.
Yes. Exactly.
It is. This is like Major League Soccer in the CONCACAF region is like the English Premier League. The Liga MX is like La Liga. Like that's how it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's exactly because they're the same styles. Like Major League Soccer is more direct. It's when you build up. It's not to be cute. It's just be direct, and
Yeah.
it's more
Yes.
physical. Like the English Premier League. La Liga and like Liga MX is more finesse, it's flair. There's it's physical, but not to the point as it is physical in the English Premier League.
Yes. Exactly.
And that's why like I think when you have those two powerful leagues, it helps everyone else. But I mean, I'm really excited to see actually the U17 World Cup. It's in October. Yeah, October in the United Arab Emirates. I never knew this place existed. I
Wait, I mean, they're coming out of nowhere with these
I
places.
know, right? It's
Like the other place I got the bid, Qatar. It's like
yeah,
what?
I know, like Qatar. Like why is Qatar hosting a World Cup, man? Like Jesus,
Yeah,
these players are gonna die there.
yeah, yeah.
It's ridiculous, but
Yeah, they just keep pulling weird like Middle Eastern locations
is
out
this
of
to try to
nowhere.
unite the world? It's that big problem that
Yeah,
Joseph
yeah.
Blatter wants to do. Next one you're gonna see some team like Oman's gonna get like a World Cup, or you're gonna see that, or Kuwait, something like that.
Kuwait, some Iran or Iraq
Yeah,
somewhere.
seriously. Or the players are gonna have to come in with like vest suits
Yeah.
to make sure they don't get hurt. But I mean, let's move on from there. Now let's talk about the CONCACAF Champions League. It's the final tomorrow.
All Mexican again.
Next a
Rematch.
rematch of last year's final, which was Santos Laguna versus Monterrey, and the first game is in Santos Laguna's home. Um, Estadio Nuevo de Corona, I think that's what it's called. And honestly, both teams are not playing that good as they
No.
should have. It's just that again, MLS came out very scared against these teams,
Yes.
which kind of makes you wonder how they're gonna act against a team from Colombia or Argentina, But they didn't play well. Honestly, if they would have came out more aggressive, they might have been an all MLS final.
Could have
Easily
been,
could have.
yes, yes.
It
They
wasn't
had the
like it
opportunity.
wasn't like they got blown out any of these.
No, we
No.
really thought that when they both teams went to Mexico, it was gonna be just a
Yeah.
thrashing, but it wasn't.
No,
So
in fact, Seattle was one goal away.
yeah, exactly.
They were one goal away, and they got close multiple times. But now that it's Santos versus Monterrey, who do you have winning?
I would say Monterrey.
Really, because that would
I
be.
feel as if uh, them beating Galaxy was a much bigger test than Santos beating Seattle at that point.
Mm,
And it just the fact that Seattle was in it pretty much to the last whistle shows that they kind of lacked a little bit of a finishing
mhm.
quality. So I do feel as if Monterrey had the tougher competition and has proven itself against a stronger opponent. So being that it's a rematch also against the team that they're familiar with, I think that they can take it.
I know. I think Santos is gonna have revenge though, because if Monterrey wins, that'll be the third CONCACAF Champions League title in a row.
Wow, they seem to have it down. They know
Because
how to
they
win
beat Real Salt Lake, and then they beat Santos, and if they beat Santos again, that'd be horrible. And what Hercules Gomez said, like he was saying, he said today that he believes Santos is built to win the CONCACAF Champions League. That's what he says.
that might be true.
Who knows? But honestly, I'm kind of rooting for Santos because I do want Hercules Gomez to win. I don't want Monterrey to win 3 times in a row.
Well,
But
all you gotta do is make Hercules Gomez think that it's a MLS team.
yeah, and
That's all you gotta
he'll
do.
go berserk. He'll go berserk like he
If you
does.
could do that,
You
he'll
know.
score like 3.
Yeah, seriously. But it's just you can't. It's kind of hard to count out Aldo de Nigres and Humberto Suazo for Monterrey. Like
Yeah.
that's really hard to count out. Those two players, they single-handedly sunk the Galaxy. They both did. Like that was it in LA and in Mexico.
Exactly.
They sunk the Galaxy, and that's if it wasn't for them, the Galaxy probably would have been going.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
It was both of them. Like, and that's why like you kind of can't cross that out.
No, exactly.
Honestly, if I had to go to prediction, I'd probably say, even though I don't want to, I'll say Monterrey wins 4-2 goal aggregate.
4-2.
Yeah.
I see that. I can see that happening.
Yeah.
Maybe 3-1. I would say.
3-1.
Yeah.
Who do you think wins tomorrow?
Tomorrow
It's in Santos.
it's in Santos. I'll say it's a draw.
1-1.
1-1. Yes.
And then Monterrey takes
And
care
then
of business at home.
I think they take care of business 2-0 at home. Yeah.
I think tomorrow Santos wins 2-1. And
Oh.
then in Monterrey they win 3-0.
Wow.
So I think
That'll be a big result.
that's a huge result.
Yeah.
A huge result. I mean, but that covers it for the Champions League. But how about the UEFA Champions League? What about today? Bayern Munich just
They made Barcelona look human.
yeah. It was
Which
the first time that you see Barcelona. And you're not like these guys are not. They're not gods. They're humans. I mean,
Exactly.
they beat them 4-0. It's like
Honestly, like me being a Chelsea fan, I rarely had sympathy for them. There might have been a little glimmer of sympathy
yeah.
towards Barcelona just
'Cause
because of just the domination that Bayern had.
I think today was the greatest example that Bayern Munich just took the torch. You know, from Barcelona. It's always Barcelona passed torch. No, Bayern Munich took the torch. It was like we are the best in Europe now.
Yeah, yeah.
You guys were for a while. It's our turn now because Bayern
Exactly.
Munich is just built perfectly, and they just signed. They just signed the creative midfielder, the guy who runs Boris Dortmund.
Oh
who's gonna
yeah,
play.
which is a whole nother issue.
Yeah,
'cause
you know.
it's like they were about to have a game against Madrid.
Yeah, and it's
and
tomorrow,
it's like,
and
oh,
they just
by
like,
the way,
I'm playing for them now.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
like,
I feel like that's a really strange situation.
Yeah.
But to the point, obviously, the rich get richer apparently.
yeah. I mean,
So-
God, they just I don't. And now, Pep Guardiola said that
Oh my
he
goodness.
wants Gareth Bale.
He wants Gareth
He
Bale
wants
in
Gareth
a Bayern
Bale.
jersey.
Yeah, he wants Gareth Bale. I don't know where you put him.
Exactly.
I don't
Where are
know.
you gonna-
Who do you take out? Who do you take out? Robin? Like who do you take out?
I have no clue. Like,
It's just
I'm guessing what he's gonna do is he's just gonna play just like in Barcelona, no true striker,
mhm.
and have just everybody run amok.
But the
right
thing
there.
is, you do have two strikers. You do. That's the scary part. You do. You have two
That-
strikers. You have a good goal. You have awesome goal. You have a good defense, and your midfield is just the most intimidating thing in
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah.
Because if you now that they've added that guy from Boris Dortmund, like the reason why Boris Dortmund was so good was because of him. He was running
Yeah.
that
Exactly.
team.
Exactly.
He was running that team single-handedly. And now they're talking about getting Gareth Bale. Oh man,
There's with that team right now, it's anything that can be said will be said because you'll even hear names like Neymar, you'll
Yeah.
hear Ronaldo, you'll hear Messi, all the big names are
Honestly-
gonna get thrown up there.
Honestly, though, if Neymar went to Bayern, I think he would get lost.
He would get lost in that roster.
He would
first
get
of all.
he would get lost in there because he would just. I think that's too strong of a roster, and he wouldn't last in Bundesliga. That's too physical of a league
Yeah,
for him.
yeah.
He would if he tried to juke out somebody, they would just knock him down.
Oh yeah, yeah.
This is like, bah, get out of here. This is not Brazil anymore, man. I mean, it's just, yeah, that's scary, man. Oh,
It's just scary. One quick thought. They said that they wouldn't do it, but do you think that the Bayern staff had any sort of contact or inside information on Barcelona through Pep Guardiola? They said that they wouldn't because they said that that's just completely unfair. But I'm saying after this result, I'm starting to think a little bit. What are your thoughts on that?
It
He is
could.
gonna be the next coach, you know.
No, I don't think he would have. I honestly don't, because he loves Barcelona. I don't think he would have. I don't know. That'd be really hard to
Or
see.
what about maybe they could have said, "Hey, is there anything that you, if you were already coach, you might do against them, given our roster?"
Yeah, maybe, but it's just with that roster. God, this is.
Because I mean, eventually, think about it. He's gonna have to play against Barcelona.
Yeah,
So it's like, at a
I
certain
see
point,
your
he's gonna
point.
have to start.
I see your point, but I don't see Pep Guardiola doing that. I do maybe saying, oh, I would do this and do this, but I wouldn't say it straight up. Listen, this is how they play. All right.
Yeah.
This is everything. This is the X's and O's and this and that. Every corner kick, this is where they're gonna be at. I don't think he did that. Maybe he might have given little pointers because that's just they might have asked them.
Uh-huh.
But to lose 4-0 though, still like that's just no. That's just like it's just a big wake up sign that Barcelona, you're not untouchable anymore.
Yeah.
There's a better team than you now, and they're Germans, and their name is Bayern Munich, and they are scary. I remember I was watching the game, like the commentators were like, look at the size of them all crossing, and like Bayern Munich, the camera to go up here for Barcelona, they went down, like it was just like this. It was just like there's an advantage everywhere. Like even the refs were taller than Barcelona. It's just like it's just I don't know. It just seems like the men and the boys now. That's what it seems like. It seems like Bayern Munich is just they're the bosses of Europe.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
Like
they are.
who do you think is gonna win tomorrow, Real Madrid and Boris Dortmund? Do
It's
you
gonna
think
it's gonna be Madrid because right now
the signing, right?
the signing
Yeah.
has,
It screws up
it
their
came
psyche.
at a horrible time.
Seriously.
At a horrible time. So now Madrid, they're doing their regular runs.
Yeah.
Even though they got a little beat up over the weekend, they're gonna have less of a problem now just due to that.
Yeah, because now they don't have to deal with a fully strong, mentally ready team. Boris Dortmund, no, they're gonna deal with a team that just found out that their guy that runs that team is going to Bayern Munich next year.
To their rival.
He's
going to their rival.
It's not a possibility. It's already been done. Like
it's been
done.
pretty
Like
much.
that's it. Like they're just waiting for the transfer one to open up, and he's bye birdie.
It's kind of weird because is he even gonna be there?
I don't know. Yeah, he is gonna be there.
He is under contract.
He's still no. He's gonna play. He's gonna play. I mean, you're in the semifinals of the Champions League. You better play. If I was him, I would make sure that I would play the game of my life. Because if you go out and you lose like on purpose,
it's gonna be too much speculation.
I don't know. Honestly, I would have first said Boris Dortmund might win the game in Germany. But now that this happened, I think Real Madrid might take care of them both places.
I think they will, yeah.
I think the final will be Bayern Munich versus Real Madrid.
I'm excited to see that because it's a rematch of the semifinal last year.
I know, right?
And I don't know who. Well, I already have an idea of who I'll be going for.
Now look, man. All I gotta say is one thing. Corinthians did beat Chelsea in the Club World Cup.
Yeah.
But if they would have faced Bayern Munich, they would have lost. And they would have lost badly. I'm sorry, they would have lost badly. Really bad. Bayern Munich would have sliced them and diced them. Guerrero would have never had a chance. It just, no.
They're just
Chelsea was lucky.
No, they just rode a magical run. I'm sorry, they rode a magic. It was a run
nice way of
destiny.
putting it. A nice way of putting it. You're lucky. It was
not lucky. It was lucky. There was some luck along the way, but
along the way, it was all over the place.
If you can beat Barcelona away with 10 men,
this is called luck,
man.
It's called luck.
I'm sorry. There's some quality there.
Man. Quality. Yes, they have quality, but come on, to win the final in penalties is pure luck.
No, that's not. That was just coming through at the clutch. All right. When you have Drogba, he's gonna come in the clutch, and he's gonna score when it's needed.
I'm sorry, man.
And then it's gonna happen.
I'm sorry, but they were not the better team. They were not.
That's what they said the whole year last season.
They're not the better
Chelsea
team.
was not fazed by anybody. They were happy to face anybody. They faced them at their home. All right. They faced Bayern at their home.
Okay, they have pretty much the same team from last year. Why are they so bad this year?
No, they don't have a striker.
They have almost the same team.
No,
just
they
minus
don't.
Drogba.
No, they don't. When you incorporate a person like Hazard, you got to kind of shift the play style, because now you have what they call them the three amigos. You know, you have him, Mata, and Oscar. Oscar, another new signing. It's a different style that's being played
Those
right now.
two players don't hurt; they help.
Of course not, but it's just you got to change the play style. Obviously, last season they had to heavily rely on just defense the whole time. Now it's not that way. Now they're trying to open it to play the beautiful game that the owner wants. So there's gonna be some adjustments needing to be made. Obviously, Torres. We'll just say, I won't get into that because I have my own opinions about him. I'm sure.
Well, you don't like Torres?
No, I would not. I prefer him not being there.
Do you
But
like him more than you dislike Arshadaban?
you know what? He's pretty up there. He might contend for that spot.
Oh gosh. Yeah, it's only a couple of more days till we find out about the Galaxy who they're gonna pick. But I'm just telling you, man.
I hope they pick Lampard.
I think it's gonna
Lampard
be. I
will
think it's gonna be
contribute.
Kaká.
You think it'll be Kaká?
Because they keep saying this signing is gonna be bigger than Beckham. Lampard is not bigger than Beckham. Kaká is bigger than Beckham.
Name-wise, yes.
Yeah,
Name-wise,
that's what they
yes,
mean.
yeah.
That's what they mean. But
I just don't
Lampard
know.
is a better player than Beckham, but I think Kaká is bigger than all three of them.
He has World Player of the Year award under his belt. So.
Yeah, and I think it'd be insane if Kaká came to the Galaxy. It'd be so much fun to see him here. Very good.
Yeah, I hope he stays healthy. That always seems to be the issue. If he
Yeah.
does come.
That is always the issue with him. Kaká's always getting hurt.
And you can't say MLS is not physical because it does get physical.
Yeah,
So
I know.
I don't know
Don't
if
get me
he's
wrong.
gonna.
I'd love to see Frankie here. I'd love to see Frankie Lampard. I'd love to see him here. I would like to see Arshavan. And
See, out of all of them, even though Lampard might have the most age out of all of them, I think
yeah.
I do feel like he'd be willing to play here a lot longer than somebody like Kaká, who's probably gonna get injury prone again, and then after like 2 or 3 years it's gonna be over. I feel like there'll be more sustained returns from somebody like Lampard.
I agree with that, but it's just to take a gamble on Kaká. It's kind of you can't pass on that.
No, I guess not.
You can't pass on it. Arshavan either.
They'll make the argument, well, one plays in Chelsea and then the other plays in Madrid. So
And Arshavan's Arshavan.
he's not even. You know what? Don't even put him in that sentence anymore, man. He's not even in any of these good leagues. All right.
What did that guy do to you, man? Did he give you like a bad case of chocolates, man? Like what did he do?
I don't know how. That's probably why Arsene Wenger's like pissed off all the time because he has to deal with
Arsene
that
Wenger's
guy.
pissed off because he's stuck with a bunch of kids that are not playing as hard as they should be playing.
Yeah.
He needs to realize eventually, that's a whole different topic, but he needs to realize that he can't only win with kids. He needs some veterans on that team. I'm sorry.
Yeah, every big signing is some
Yeah.
kid.
Alright, well, we're going to go off ranting for like 2 hours if we go into the English Premier League. Well, anyways, that's it for today. We'll be back on Thursday with Brian back from Vegas from his crazy one-day trip.
He'll probably tell us all about it.
Exactly. Well, till then, you guys, see you later.
Later.
Later, man.